Alright, today we're going to clean the 50. We took it out and shot it. You saw in the 2 videos ago or so. So we're going to clean it up. I cannot find my wire brush, brass bristle brush. So I went to the stores and no one's got one. So we're just going to have to use some cleaning patches for now. I like to use Hops number 9 just to clean it. Lucas is the oil I use in the action and all that. Lucas makes really good oil. And Fitz is what I use to coat it. It's like a gun wax, kind of like a coating to keep it from rusting. It says have a few tiny spots on the bipod, which is bipod's piece of crap, which I need to get a new one. Down the road, I do have a new scope coming. In a couple more weeks, we'll switch it out, put it on there. Got the Aries Athlon. And the cleaning brush is long enough. I got a stainless steel one. The other ones tend to kind of break a little bit. We can take the bolt out, which on the other side there's a little button you just push and the bolt slides up. Which is a fairly good sized bolt. This is a Note 9. And you can tell just how big that bolt is. Which it's really not as dirty as I thought. We fired 30 rounds or so out of it. 25 to 30. So it's pretty decent. I'm not going to break it all the way down. I don't want to make a super long video. Q-tips are very handy. The cleaning guns. You just get a little bit of Hops on there. You can get all inside the bolt face and all the little areas that are harder to reach. And like I said, it's really not that dirty. Lucas does a pretty good job of protecting it. We'll run a few patches and see what the barrel looks like, the bore. Hopefully this is a good enough holder for the... And everybody's got their own way of doing it. This is just the way I do it. Right or wrong, everybody finds their own way. And I got the patch too big, I think. And that's the first run, which is not as dirty as I would have thought. See if we can get I think I ended up doubling up on patches by accident. Don't need to get it stuck in there. Some more solvent on that. That's not bad. I'm going to use it to get in his brake a little bit. And I do have my gun dealer looking for a suppressor for this for me. Titanium. I'm not getting one of the Barrett ones, they're just overpriced. You can get 2 for the price of one of the Barrett ones. There's several patchers run down the barrel. Without my brush, I mean, I'm getting a bunch of it. And got the hops clean in there. I'm gonna put a little Lucas just to coat the inside, just to keep rust and whatnot from forming. It's really freaking humid in here in Alabama, and unfortunately this does not fit in my current gun safe, which I've been having my eye on a nice Liberty. That's will be tall enough. So. After this, I'm going to clean the action. And most people sometimes will run the rod this way, but I do not have enough extensions to run that way, because the barrel is 30, I think it's 30 inches long, 29 and a half. And you add the muzzle brake, which is substantial size muzzle brake. The action is the same thing. Q-tips, little hops. Run it all in there. Fairly easy. It's not a mag fed, so it's just pretty much half a tube. You just clean it all out. Down here where the trigger is, there's a little groove that runs all back through here. It's fairly dirty. Little powder residue and whatnot. The ammo we were shooting was Lake City. It was linked belt fed ammo for a machine gun. So it wasn't any precision or nothing like that. This is gonna be a light cleaning, not too in depth. I don't, you know. Sit here for 2 hours cleaning the gun and get pretty boring. So I'm just gonna hit over a little bit, and then on my other time I'll get into it and clean it a little bit more. Those hops, it goes, or not hops, sorry, this Lucas, it goes a long way. It's a small bottle, but I've used that thing and everything. And I also bought like half a gallon bottle thinking I was gonna run out a long time ago. And I'm still using, I think I have 2 or 3 of these little bottles. You can get them at O'Reilly, O'Reilly sometimes on the parts desk, or at the gun store. Little trick with the bolt action, you can push it down just halfway, hold the trigger, and the bolt will kind of go down a little bit where you're not just dry firing it. This thing does have a pretty rough trigger, rough feeling trigger. It's kind of like a crude trigger. I've seen, I don't know if it's Timney or someone else, they make an aftermarket trigger for it, so I may in the future do that. As I drip this stuff all over the place. I'm probably using way too much, but I did have a small surface rust area, a little bit right here. This isn't new to me. This was a used one that I got for a pretty good deal. Although 50 BMG rounds are still, it's hard to say reasonable price, but today's prices, they're fairly reasonable. Local gun shop, I can get them 10 rounds for $54, PMC bronze. They got some Hornady for I think 89, which is $770 70 grains with a match bullet on it. Which is still not bad. And forgive me if I'm rambling on. It's getting used to kind of talking to yourself as you do this. Well, talking to a screen is odd. But I appreciate you guys watching. And apparently you gotta ask people to like and subscribe and thumbs up, thumbs down, comment what your favorite rifle is. This bipod is it's fairly disappointing. These little fins, there's a tiny tack and a tiny tack. You could actually just break this off. This little, you think it'd be a lot more fixed to it, but it's not. And when you're paying $30-some $100 for a rifle, I mean, that fits. That's pretty good wax stuff. It puts a nice little coating on there. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm trying not to break the table, my fat ass. But more videos to come. It's just this heat here and this humidity is just crazy. Next video will probably be a timber tough sawmill chainsaw jig. We'll test it out and see how that works. I've YouTubed a few videos. People seem to use it pretty good, but it's hard to say. We'll see how that goes. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.